Siya ni Kristo.
Guten Abend, herzlich willkommen zu INCRadio Central Europe Satellite Studio, and thank you for joining us this evening. To those who are tuning in, hello and welcome to INCRadio Central Europe Satellite Studio, and thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Sister Frances Manalili, tuning in live from the local congregation of Frankfurt, Germany, here in the district of Central Europe, and I'm happy to be here tonight as your host. And today we have a very interesting topic. But before we get into that, time check, we have 8:03 p.m. Central European Time. And our topic conversation today is about the future of IT, key trends, and essential skills for tomorrow's tech pros. And for that, we have invited our dear panelists who are joining us this evening. And let's start to get to know them. Let's start with Brother John. Thank you, Brother John, for being with us here tonight.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brother John from the local congregation of Dortmund. And today I'm a panelist today since I'm a recent bachelor graduate from electronic and information engineering. And I'm working roughly 1 year already in the IT field. And thank you for having me today.
Thank you so much, Brother John, for also being here tonight. And let's also move on and fly over or travel over to Heidelberg with our dear brothers who are also here with us tonight. And let's also get to know them. Hello, brothers.
Hello, I am Brother Henry, local congregation of Heidelberg, Kaiserslautern Extension, and with me is Brother Mark.
Hello, everyone. Brother Mark from Stuttgart GWS Heidelberg cluster. This is a very important topic that me and Brother Henry needed to be in the same room to be together to talk about this. So I'm my history or background in information technology. I've been in the career field for about 13 years now. So I'm in the field of cybersecurity or information technology protection. So protecting information and protecting data is kind of my field now. But in the past, I've also dealt with information technology of making sure that computers are working, people's emails are working in various organizations that I worked for. So, Brother Henry, what did you do?
I've done everything from customers calling me, how does the computer work? My computer doesn't turn on. My keyboard is not pressing the space bar. Everything that a customer would call and ask help with, their internet, I can't get to a website, or I have no dial tone on my internet phone. I've been in the IT field for about 20 years now, since I was in high school up to present. So there's a lot of things that I can do. A lot of things I still haven't done because the IT field is so broad, which we will discuss more in our topic conversation tonight.
Thank you, Brother Henry, and also Brother Mark from Stuttgart and also Kaiserslautern, and also for being with us here tonight. And of course, we would like to also introduce to you our dear beloved Brother Scott, who is also here with us tonight. Hello, Paul, brother.
Hello, goedemorgen, goedemiddag, goedenavond. Good day to everyone. And we hope that everybody will enjoy the information today and we'll get a lot of tips. At least look on the bright side. We know all how to use the internet, and we hope everybody will um, get all the information needed. Sister Francis?
Thank you so much, Brother Scott, also for being with us here tonight. And yes, this is a very interesting topic. And like Brother Scott said, we hope to get more insight about the IT field. And for that, yes, we have invited our dear brothers here with us tonight. And for our icebreaker game, we don't have the usual icebreaker game, but today we have a question we would like to ask our dear brothers. Since you have briefly introduced about your field of expertise, can you also share with us what do you love most about how technology is shaping your industry today? And let's start with Brother John.
So yeah, I personally am working in the retail industry, and with the development of new hardware, we can improve the quality of life in stores. For example, if a customer is shopping with us, they can have a good experience over there. May it be in the self-checkout systems that are the cashier systems where you go by yourself and pay by, on your own your stuff that you are buying, and also for the cashiers who are working on the managed checkout, who are still in the classical way, helping the customers to get their items paid up. So yeah, with the recent developments, we can ensure that that our staff is working comfortably, or our customers can do the self checkout without any problems.
Thank you so much, Brother John, for sharing that with us. And of course, we would like to ask our dear brothers also the same question. So, can you tell us what you love most about how the technology is also shaping your industry today as part of our icebreaker game?
I'll ask Brother Mark to answer that first. Answer that first.
Oh,
I'll go
great.
after him.
Yeah, thanks, Brother Henry. So I would say for me, right, like Brother John said, just in the retail, right, is the use of information technology. So, like I mentioned before, I'm in cybersecurity, right? So, as we are all probably used to, right, and as a lot of our viewers are probably either using their phones or using computers to be able to watch this, a lot of us are continuing to put more and more information into these devices, right? Whether it be for ease of use or convenience, right? Whether we're now putting our credit cards on our phone so we don't have to take out our wallet. We have our phone already so that we can just pay for things, right? Or any other important documents that we need to use or pass along for our personal use or for our work, right? So as more and more information gets put into these devices, somebody needs to help protect it or think about the protection of those things. So I feel like right now I'm in a field where that demand is only going to grow and grow, right? Like just like there's always going to need to have locksmiths to protect things, right? And so now that everything is going to go more digital, I can see how this, protecting of information is going to continue to be a demand signal in our industry. So, Brother Henry, how about you?
So one of the popular terms that have been popping up in our industry is artificial intelligence, or AI. Some people think AI is like robots thinking on their own and doing things that is dangerous. It's not that at all. To be honest, artificial intelligence is helping to make our life easier for us humans not to have to do and think and work so hard anymore. For example, at my workplace, there was an important task to install software onto hundreds and hundreds of computers. And it took nights after nights of, or days and nights to get this task done. With artificial intelligence, I could ask the application to write a script for me. And if that was my task, it would have been only taken about an hour or 30 minutes at most. So that's what artificial intelligence has been doing for us lately, is that it learns how to do the tasks that we do a lot quicker, and it allows us to not have to think so hard, because the technology has already learned how to do it in a much faster way. And there's just so much you can do with it. You probably already see this on the news of cars driving itself, and even latest developments of robots cleaning our kitchen. So artificial intelligence, I think, is reshaping our industry in a very, very dramatic way.
Thank you so much, Brother Henry, also Brother Mark, for sharing with us and giving insights about also the most significant recent developments in the IT industry. And like you said, also, Brother Henry, the artificial intelligence, or in German KI. and it's also, I believe, known to everyone, especially also maybe to the younger ones who have heard about AI and what it also can do for us. And yes, so it's a very big field working in the IT industry. So let's stay with you, brother Henry. Since you have been working for many years in the IT industry, can you tell us what skills do you think will be most in demand for IT professionals in the coming years?
So the skill set for IT professionals has always been evolving. Becoming good in only one thing is can actually be dangerous in the career. Of course, you have to be good in something. It's you have to start somewhere. You find a area of interest and you become good at that. But you also have to add on more skills and increase the awareness of the different technologies that exist. So I think a lot of hiring managers, especially as a supervisor once myself, we look for those who enjoy learning, who love to be the first one to get a new toy and figure out how it works, and even at times break it, but still know how to put it back together and fix it and make it work again, and sharing that knowledge to your teammates, your colleagues, and just making it something that uh, that can be used by everyone to their benefit. So loving to learn and loving to accept a challenging environment, a challenging task, uh, that is actually kind of hard to find now. Is that in IT, the common thing is you're just sitting at the computer waiting for something to break and you only respond when something breaks. No, it's actually more of the fact that to be a proactive learner and be the first one to see what you can do with that certain feature or that certain application. If anyone out here is listening, our brothers and sisters who are watching and listening, who are thinking about a career in IT, if you really enjoy learning, if you really enjoy technology, if you really enjoy putting a computer together, you love graphics, you love the frames per second, and if there are any young viewers listening, they know what I'm saying, even though it sounds very technical. Um, or if you love the mechanical keyboards and the switches, things of that nature, if you just love technology in general and you love to learn how technology works, that is, I think, a very key essential characteristic to be in the IT field.
Thank you so much, Brother Henry, for sharing that with us. And of course, you would like to get insight about how Brother Mark also feels. So, can you tell us, Brother Mark, what are skills that you think that are also or will be most in demand now for the IT professionals in the coming years?
Yeah, I would say I agree with Brother Henry's the love of learning. I would say I kind of have two examples: one technical, one non-technical. So on the technical side, we've seen an increase in the amount of people, at least as a baseline, understand coding, right? So for those that don't know what coding is, right? So all of the applications on our phones or the programs that we use on our computers, right? That comes down to what's called a code. And what that is just instructions to a computer so the computer knows what to do, right? So when you are tapping on something on a application, that the application responds and then shows you, a picture or, searches for something, right? So all of that is code, and somebody had to write that code in order to tell the computer what to do, right? So I've seen a lot, big increase, and especially at the younger ages now. There's a lot of programs out there and websites that are able to teach children even at a younger age kind of the basics and foundation of how coding works, so that when they kind of grow older, they kind of learn more advanced languages in order to kind of teach the computer even more harder things, right? And then on the non-technical side, right, just the ability to work with people and work with teams, right? That's still important, even if it's information technology and computers, right? So it's not necessarily the computer person that's by themselves alone in a basement, or it can be people that how to know how to work with teams and work together on a lot of projects and tasks, right? Because a lot of these big things that companies want to do, it's not just one person that can do it, right? It takes a lot of people in order to accomplish these tasks. So knowing how to work part of a team is very important. That's definitely what separates a lot of people, even though that they have the technical skills, but their ability to work with teams is what gets them hired. So that's kind of what I think will continue to grow in this space.
Thank you so much, brother Mark, for also sharing that with us and giving us insight. And yes, the IT field is very broad. So, like Brother Henry also said, if you are, there's always space to learn, and if you are, if you enjoy learning, right, or problem solving, and you can also maybe pursue a career in IT. But we will get back to that, of course, for our young people who are interested. Um, we will have that question in store for you. And of course, you would like to ask Brother John, who graduated, right, in the IT field. So, can you tell us what can you add? So, what skills do you think for you will be also most in demand now in the coming years?
So, if you are starting to work, in addition to the technical aspect, is that you've got to have some business knowledge, starting from how to sell your ideas very well in order to bring it to your customers or even to your managers if you're suggesting something. So, you need to have a good balance between the business aspect and the technical aspect. It goes really hand in hand. So even if you are more technical, knowledgeable, you need also have an idea on how to sell your improvements to the outer, let's say, stakeholders or customers, let's say, in order so they can accept your ideas on what you want to change. So yeah,
Thank
and
you so much.
also, yeah, sorry, sorry for that. And also, in addition to Henry, you really need to adapt to an overwhelming environment. So even if it's overwhelming at the start, you you need to do your best to live with it and adapt the changes that are coming all at once in your life. And I think it gets better with the time if you are starting out. So for the new joiners in the field, don't be afraid of the overwhelming stuff that you have to learn. Just embrace it and have fun with it.
Thank you so much, Brother John, for your great tips also and insights. And yes, so we will get back to you, Brother John, and maybe a question for all of our three brothers who are um, expertise or who are professionals, I would rather say, in the IT field. We have a comment, or I would say a question from our viewers and listeners. And the question is, what are the advantages and disadvantages of AI? Okay. So maybe who would like to answer that question? Maybe for those who don't know about AI, maybe you can tell us what does AI stand for, and yes, the advantages and disadvantages of it. Let's maybe ask our dear brothers. Yes, Brother Henry or Brother Mark?
Oh, artificial intelligence. What is that, Brother Mark? Artificial. What is? How do you describe artificial?
Artificial is something that is did not come from nature. I think, right? It did not come from humans or animals. Yeah, did not nothing from nature. Yeah, man-made.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's something that is created or manufactured. And so when it's intelligence, it's manufactured intelligence or intelligence that was created. And so coders and programmers and developers, they've been doing the same programs over and over and over to make a calculator, to make a maze game, to make a puzzle game. And as they keep doing the same codes over and over, they made it so that a computer program can do it itself. And so it's evolved so much that a computer program can make another computer program, can make another program, and so forth, that it can do all these tasks repetitiously or repetitively, that you don't need someone like Brother Mark or myself to actually make the program. The program can make the program. And it's become so smart that things like cars can drive itself. Things like probably see those products of dogs and cats responding to human commands, and these are just robots. Or you have like a computer that talks to you, and you talk to the computer, and it does these tasks for you. So, what are the pros and the advantages of that? Well, you don't have to ask someone to do it for you, because if you ask someone to do it for you, you have to pay them. You have to give them an hourly wage. You have to hire them. Now, with a simple subscription fee, or sometimes even for free, you can actually have a program write a program for you. And in fact, I just asked the program yesterday to make me a program, and it exported that for me. I asked the program to make a coloring book for my daughters, and I was able to print that, and they were able to go to the corner quietly and start coloring in those pages that the artificial intelligence did for me. And so, what are the disadvantages for that? So, the disadvantages is that you become so reliant on something to do it so simply for you that you don't know how to do it yourself anymore. So, there's a lot of foundational understanding to use these tools, that if these tools are not available for you, then where is your skill set? My skill set is I can tell this thing what to do, but if it's not there, then I have no skills, I have no product to output. So there are pros and cons to any type of technology. It's the foundational understanding to develop that output yourself. I think that's a little technical already. And what I'm saying is that just to be able to like, for example, if the power goes out, um, knowing how to survive, something as simple as that. Artificial intelligence also has that capability, is that you can't rely on it too much. You still have to know how to exist without it. I hope that makes sense. Please ask any more questions in the chat. That's a good question to ask. And it's very interactive, so always willing to answer questions like that.
Thank you so much, Brother Henry. We really appreciate you giving your take on the questions of our viewers and listeners. And since we have gotten into the topic AI, I also have a question, and I'm very curious. Since AI is very big, I would say, and now very known and useful, can you maybe tell us from your perspective, how do you think AI will impact job markets in the future?
Yes, sister. Yeah. So I would say that it's gonna be, my opinion, would be it's gonna be a big impact of those that know how to use the tools, right, and those that do not. Is going to be a kind of a consideration factor when it comes to job markets, right? Because if you, I would say, maybe our equivalent of some of us that are a little bit older, right, that have been using the internet for a little bit. Kind of the equivalent is when the internet first came out and we had the search engine tool come out, right? And that was the big boom in information being spread and being accessible to so many people, and just understanding how to use a search engine or a search tool on the internet to search for whatever information you're trying to do, right? How to cook adobo, or how to make lumpia, or whatever thing that maybe I'm hungry, Brother Henry. I'm only thinking about food. So and so now with artificial intelligence, right? This is another tool on having, like Brother Henry said, a tool kind of think for itself in order to give you what you're looking for. So it's going to be interesting as computers are doing more and more for us. Then what is it that we are supposed to be doing if the computers are doing it for us? So, are we going to do more arts and, music? But then, computers are also doing that as well, right? So it's just something that I think will continue to impact of the industry. And understanding at least what that tool is and the basics of how to use it will definitely be a benefit to those that are wanting to join the information technology field. So I hope that answered it. At least that's my opinion.
Thank you so much, brother Mark. And yes, I really appreciate it for you answering also the question that I was curious about, and for giving your insights and also what you feel about it. And let's stay with you, brother Mark, since our dear viewers and listeners are very curious about our topic for today, and they have actually a question for you, brother. Since you are working um, in the cybersecurity field, right, brother Mark? We have a question for you from Sister Destiny Koenig, and her question is cybersecurity more demanding as people say, other than learning latest programming tools? Hashtag Wiesbaden.
Yes, thank you very much, Sister Destiny, for that question. And shout out to Wiesbaden. So I would say, yes, definitely I demand cybersecurity because, all of us, for example, maybe we're using phones or we're using a computer right now in order to watch this program, right? And a lot of us put a lot of information into those phones or the computers for us to use in our everyday life, right? Maybe some of us might even put our credit cards or for some of our financials in those, right? So as we rely on these devices, maybe for convenience, there needs to be either organizations or people that kind of think about how to protect that information, because that information in the wrong hands might be very bad, right, for that individual, right? So cybersecurity is definitely a growing field because not just individuals, but even companies and businesses, right? They want to protect their information. Maybe the secret recipe for adobo again, right? Some company might have the secret recipe saved on a computer, right? And we don't want that to go just to anybody, right? So there's definitely a growing field as we rely on a lot of these information technology to save our information and keep that archived, right, for references later. All of that needs to be protected. So you may make sure that, on the cybersecurity side, as we're continuing to use these devices, for good, like watching INC radio, we need to make sure that we protect ourselves in using these devices, right? So, if you get any messages from people that you are not expecting, right? If you any email messages might look any suspicious, if you're not expecting anything from any financial banks or anything like that, make sure that it's best if you call, all right, and talk to somebody physically rather than just responding or clicking on any links that may not be familiar, because that might be a way for somebody to access your device or access the information that you have saved on there, right? So thank you very much, Sister Destiny, for the question, and hopefully I was able to answer it.
Thank you so much, Brother Mark. Yes, and I hope Sister Destiny, with the answers provided by Brother Mark, you have your answer about it as well. And we have another question. We have many questions from our dear viewers and listeners. So our dear brothers, Brother John, Brother Mark, and Brother Henry, I think our dear viewers and listeners are very eager to know and to also hear about your answers. So we have a question from Brother Jonathan Asena. Thank you, first of all, Brother Jonathan, for your question. And this is again about AI. And his question is AI the greatest invention or advancement of humankind? Hashtag Hamburg. Okay, who's ready to answer Brother Jonathan's question? Okay, we have Brother Henry. Okay, what can you tell us about it, Brother Henry?
So AI is like with any new invention or discovery or milestone, it's a significant game changer. So throughout the course of technology, you're always going to have something that will just revolutionize everything. Uh, at one point, it was just the operating system. Oh, it's a nice operating system. You can install games on it. It's so easy to use. We thought that was a game changer. And then came the internet. The internet was the game changer because it brought us together. And then there was another game changer and another game changer. And now AI, artificial intelligence, is the next generation of game changer. Now, can we see what's going to happen after that? Up to this point, yes, for sure. Artificial intelligence is a breakthrough in this decade. It's been talked about since the early 2000s and 2010s, but now up until 2020 and so forth, until present, it's been so significant that uh, people who don't know how to code can make a program and they can make an application on their phone. And even these content creators exist now where they're using artificial intelligence as their to make their income. There are those who use artificial intelligence who do not even work in IT, but they can use it in their travel vlogs to make their as they travel around the world, they'll use AI to edit their videos. There's just so much uses, and it's such a game changer because it not only impacts the IT industry, it impacts everyone really who is just interested in learning the tool and technology for it. And so it would be really interesting to see what comes next after AI. Um, but to add to the previous question is more about like to learn how to harness that technology of artificial intelligence that will set the individual apart from everyone else because there's still a lot of applicants out there who don't even know about artificial intelligence. And to learn it now would be the game changer as someone who's looking for a career or a profession, especially those who are just coming out of college.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be interested in asking Brother John, since you're a recent graduate, maybe how much artificial intelligence was included in the curriculum, or maybe now that you're working, have you had to kind of learn a little bit at least about it?
Yeah, funnily enough, my final project for my bachelor thesis was about developing a model for preparing pieces of music for those who have a hearing device so they can hear it properly. So I have some experience with that. So in order to handle the tools with AI or make something with AI yourself, you maybe need some statistic skills. So like the mathematical aspect that's behind AI, that may be useful for you if you want to get into the field of AI. So that would be my 2 cents to that topic.
Thank you so much, Brother John, and also to our dear brothers. Let's stay with you, Brother John. Can you tell us, since you are also a recent graduate, right, Brother John, in the IT field, can you tell us what are your personal tips for what doing after the studies in IT?
So yeah, when you are starting to work after you graduate in an IT company, it first will be really overwhelming, the environment that you are currently in. Like you need to get the communication systems done on how you operate it or how you communicate with your fellow colleagues. You need to get to know on how to do that, and also your personal field, your technical expertise that you are going to apply on where and which tools you have for that. So it will be really overwhelming at the start. So don't be afraid of being overwhelmed in a new environment and try to have fun with the learning process. And I think that's the most important part in the IT field, that you have fun with the new experiences, new hardware, and new tools, so that even if you are maybe first fail at certain tasks, you are learning from it in order to get better at your job.
Okay, thank you so much, Brother John, for also sharing that with us. And maybe for those who have interest in pursuing a career in IT, hearing that from Brother John's perspective as he just recently graduated, I hope you have an idea on how it also can be uh, um, pursuing a career in IT. And of course, we would like to ask our last question, since our viewers and listeners are very much engaged in our topic conversation. Another question from Sister Destiny. And shout out to you, Sister Destiny, for really participating here with us, even through our YouTube live chat. And this question um, is about what do you advise as experts to these who are aiming and planning to take the path on going back to IT field after a very long pause, let's say years of not practicing it. Hashtag Wiesbaden. What could your advice be? Let's maybe ask. Yes, Brother Henry is about to unmute. Please go, Brother Henry.
So IT, to not do it for a while and come back. Um, it's funny because it's changed, but it hasn't changed. And I know that doesn't make sense, but the goal of any type of information technology career or position, you're always trying to help someone or a group of people or a company to try to accomplish something or a specific task. So to go back into IT is to just figure out what that business or company is trying to do and learn the tools, the software, the programs, or I'll say workflow that they're doing it in, because every company will always need to try to do a particular service or provide a product. And maybe the tools will change, but it's not like you can't learn the tool. The tools are always just going to be better and more faster and quicker to use. It's actually the tools have gotten easier to learn, and that's what's making IT so much more friendly to those seeking a career. IT becomes fun because when you started to do IT in the 90s and the 2000s, you had to learn the very basic coding principles of things that people did not understand. Nowadays, when you learn IT, you can actually pick it up fairly quickly because it was made to be easier to use for anyone who's not even in IT. There might be new terms to learn, there might be new vocabulary, and it might just ultimately just be faster um, to do the same tasks that we used to do. So I definitely encourage the Sister Destiny to, if you are planning to go back, it's really just brushing up on what those new terms are, what those new tools are, because the objective of the companies that you're trying to work for, it hasn't really changed. It's really just using something else to get the same job done. So, and again, I say this in the very beginning of the broadcast, you really have to enjoy it. You really have to enjoy the challenge of learning, because there will be some, what's the word I'm looking for, knowledge gaps or a lot of things to catch up on. But if you really love learning, you may actually pick it up fairly quickly, and you may find yourself already there. What you think of, sometimes we're afraid we're going to be left behind. You may already be there with the tools that exist to catch you up, especially all the social media tools that exist to watch these videos, these training videos. It shouldn't be too hard to catch up. So I wish you the best in your journey if you do want to return to IT.
Thank you so much, Brother Henry, for sharing that with us and for also giving your insights about it. And I hope, Sister Destiny, uh, your question has been answered by Brother Henry. And I believe we need a part two of our topic for today, since we have a lot more questions from our viewers and listeners. But yes, we will save that maybe for our part two of this topic. Um, Thank you so much, dear brothers, Brother John, Brother Mark, and Brother Henry, for engaging here with us tonight in our broadcast, and also for answering the questions of our very curious, dear viewers and listeners. And with that, we will go on a short station break, and we will see you after.
This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Hello, brethren on board. I am your mommy, Maylin Bernice. Apart from being a mom, I am also an incoming senior college student majoring in accounting this fall. And I am a deaconess in the local congregation of Las Vegas District of Mountain States.
I will be one of the hosts dito sa ating bagong programa. Samahan kami as we pursue self-development. It will be Monday to Friday, 10 p.m. Philippine time. We'll be sharing tips and stories about balancing life's challenges that will motivate all of us to pursue growth.
So, paano? Keep it here?
Ready to discover your new favorite INC original music? Introducing Playlist. Tune in every Monday to Friday from 9 to 10 p.m. for a musical journey like no other. Genres like R&B, acoustic, alternative, love songs, rock, pop, hip-hop, and rap. Each day brings you a different genre of INC original music tailored to match your mood. Looking for the perfect soundtrack to your day? We've got you covered. Join our hosts as they bring you the freshest hits, timeless classics, and everything in between. Catch Playlist live on INC Radio DZM 954 kHz, on the INC Radio YouTube channel, and on the INC Production Company's Facebook page. Set your reminders, spread the word, and don't miss a bit with Playlist. And remember, it's your music, your playlist. See you there!
Hello and welcome back to INCRadio Central Europe Satellite Studio. And time check, we have 8:44 p.m. Central European Time. And for those who have just tuned in, our topic conversation was about the future of IT, the key trends and essential skills for tomorrow's tech pros. And yes, we will move on with our favorite segment, which is German is fun or Deutsch macht Spaß with Kamalu. Have fun!
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
Hallo zusammen. Hello everyone. Welcome to German is Fun. Willkommen zu Deutsch macht Spaß. Schön, dass ihr dabei seid. Ich bin Schwester Malu Francisco. I'm Sister Malu Francisco, bringing you another fun episode of Learning Basic German. Join me now and let's have fun together.
For today, we'll learn basic words and phrases related to traveling. Heute geht's Reisen. Reisen. Our first word for today, to travel, Reisen. Reisen. That's the German word for to travel. And you spell it this way, R-E-I-S-E-N. The stress is on the first syllable, Reisen. And as you know, a verb can be converted into a noun just like in English. To travel, to convert it into a noun would be traveling. Das Reisen. Das Reisen. Travel or journey, by the way, is eine Reise and plural, die Reisen. Die Reisen.
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
Now, if you want to ask someone in German, do you like to travel? Remember, in German, you has the formal and the informal forms. The formal form for you, singular and plural, is Z, written with a capital S, I, E. That is the formal form of you for singular and plural. Now, the informal form of you for singular is do, and for the plural form, it's IH, spelled IHR. Now, let's try to use all these forms in our question. Do you like to travel in German? Reisen Sie gern? Reisen Sie gern? Informal use singular. Reist du gern? Reist du gern? Informal plural. You'd ask, reist ihr gern? Reist ihr gern? I like traveling, so I would say, ja, ich reise gern. Ja, ich reise gern. If you don't enjoy traveling, you'd say, ich reise nicht gern. Ich reise nicht gern. If you want to say, we like to travel, wir reisen gern. Wir reisen gern. And if you don't like traveling, wir reisen nicht gern. Wir reisen nicht gern.
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
At this point, I'd like to thank Brother Christian Reynolds from Central Europe for taking pictures for us for today's episode. Thank you po. Marami pong salamat ka, Christian.
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
This has been today's episode of German is Fun, Deutsch macht Spaß. I hope you had a lot of fun joining us today, as I had much fun bringing another episode of Deutsch macht Spaß. Till next time, bis zum nächsten Mal. Ich bin Schwester Malu Francisco saying vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen. Tschüss!
German is fun. Deutsch macht Spaß.
Hello and welcome back to INCRadio Central Europe Satellite Studio. And vielen Dank, Kamalu, for also teaching us again new words and vocabularies in German. And we have a comment from Sister Lucy Montalvo. Deutsch macht Spaß with a smiley. Kamalu, we miss you, po. And with 3 hearts, hashtag pon. Thank you so much, po. Kamalu, and also to you, Sister Lucy, for your comments. And for now, we will move on to our next segment. And part of our program is CEU in Action. We ask for the intro, please, Kuyatek. For our CEU in Action, we have invited Brother Scott Augustine, our ministerial worker, our minister, who is here with us and who gives us the recently updates about the recently held activities here in the District of Central Europe. Hello, Pop Brother Scott.
Hi, yeah, good evening to everyone. Thank you, brothers, for helping us in the continued industry of technology. And we would like to report to you, beloved brethren, that this weeks that have happened already, this month of October, we have had our activities for our children's worship service members. Actually, past weekend, we had it's actually a continued project launched by the Christian Family Organizations. It's the AEVM, which is Arts, Education, Values Formation, and Music. Arts, the children's worship service members were able to express their talent in creating different sandwiches, healthy, and the more healthy ones where you put chocolate and the favorites of our young brethren. And also, this past weekend or uh, this week was actually about education, where our children particularly learned uh, or continue to maintain their talent in the sport of badminton. And we would like to say thank you to the Brethren in the Kadiwa and Bini organizations in helping our Children's Worship Service members in activities like these launched by the church administration. And we'd also like to remind the brethren this coming weekend or this coming weeks to for this remaining weeks of the month of October, our continued missionary activities, the households, every family, as we continue to support the activities of the Christian, not only in the Christian family organizations, but also in the missionary work. We all know that we have an evangelical mission this coming October 26th, and the followed up missionary activity, Bible mission in each household on October 28th. And we hope that the parents who are here, we will continue to prepare our um, children, and also the Kadiwa and Bini members will continue to help our children worship service members, because we have a surprise for our parents this weekend. How we appreciate them so much for their continued guidance, not only in our life, in having education, but most especially in our worship services. And we thank you once again, brethren, for supporting this INC radio, and let us get involved in our activities in the Christian family organizations, particularly in our local congregations and our clusters, that we may continue to unite, not only being happy in this part of the world, exciting the brethren worldwide, and always bringing happiness before the sight of God. Sister Francis.
Thank you so much, Brother Scott, for reporting to us about the recently held activities here in the District of Central Europe. And we're very happy to hear that our dear members also from the CWS are actively participating alongside with the help of the parents and also the officers. Shout out to you, to our dear CWS here in the District of Central Europe. And for that, we will come now to our next segment, or the next part of our program, and that's to announce the winners of the challenge from the broadcast of last week. Let's find out who the 3 top clusters are.
Third place, Bonn and Luxembourg cluster. Second place, Netherlands cluster. First place, Berlin cluster.
Congratulations to all of the top 3 clusters who have won last week's challenge, and also congrats to Berlin cluster for winning first place, and for the ones that have not won last week's challenge, hopefully you will win this week's challenge next week. So just continue to actively participate and engage in our YouTube live chat. And yes, so now we have our shout out time. And for that, we would like to, first of all, thank our dear panelists for joining us tonight, our dear brothers, Brother John, Brother Mark, and Brother Henry, also to Cascot for also being here tonight. And we had a great topic conversation with you, and I believe our dear viewers and listeners enjoyed this also very much. And of course, we would like to thank our dear viewers and listeners for also tuning in and watching our broadcast for tonight. And maybe we can have a very short shout out time for our dear brothers. So, okay, who do you like to give your shout out to, Brother John?
Yeah, shout out to my family and shout out to my local congregation with its corresponding extensions, speaking Dortmund, Wuppertal, and Bielefeld, and also Goch.
Thank you so much, Brother John. Also, for being with us here tonight. Let's move on to Brother Henry and also Brother Mark.
Shout out to my wife who is just on the other side of this wall watching this broadcast, and to my children currently playing upstairs.
Yes, I'd like to shout out my family as well, my wife and kids who are hopefully listening. They're in the comments as well. Shout out to Central Europe. There was a lot of great questions that came from you all this evening, so made it really exciting. So thank you so much for allowing us to be panels tonight.
Thank you so much, Brother Mark and Brother Henry. And we do believe that we will have a part 2 of this topic, since we have comments from Sister Shahani saying, looking forward to part 2 of this INCRadio topic, #Rotterdam, and also Sana May part 2 from #Berlin, #Meissen from Sister JJ Lopez. So thank you so much. Shout out to you, Paul. And of course, we would like to ask Brother Scott, who would you like to give your quick shout out to, Paul?
We would like to say a shout out to our brethren worldwide, and we see you in the next INC Radio, DZM 954.
Yes, thank you so much, Brother Scott, also for giving your shout out and being part of our INC radio broadcast for tonight. And of course, we would like to thank our district CFO advisor, Brother Scott Augustine, our assistant district minister, Brother Jason Dulalas, and also thank you to our district minister, Brother Joel B. Catalan. We would also like to thank, of course, our CFO coordinator and CEBSI president, Brother Angelo Eranio Manalo. And most importantly, thank you so much to the church administration and our beloved executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. This has been INC Radio Central, Europe Satellite Studio. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in, and we will see each other next week. Bye.
This is INC Radio, DZEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ, or